All of you can give your attendance. I repeat, all of you can give your attendance in the chat box. Okay, it's 9:35 a.m. So let us start the class. Give me a minute. Let me present my screen first. Can anyone please confirm me whether my slides are visible or not?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning to all of you. In today, okay, wait. Today we are going to we will be starting the third module of this course. So far I have completed the first module as well as the second module, and today we will be starting the third module of my part, and this module will take a little bit long time since it is a little bit big module. So let me give you a brief of what we will be doing it in third module. Third module basically deals with design of a mechanical component subjected to fluctuating stresses, subjected to fluctuating load. And what is a fluctuating load or what is a fluctuating stress? A load which vary in magnitude as well as in time. A load that varies in magnitude continuously with respect to time. That type of load is known as fluctuating load. Those fluctuating load will generate some kind of stresses in the component. How to design that particular component when that component is subjected to fluctuating stresses? All these things we will study in this particular module. Is it clear the brief introduction of this module?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me start with the very first topic of module number 3, that is your stress concentration. And if you are referring VB Bhandari, then you can refer chapter number 5. Chapter number 5 will cover your entire third module of this course. So if you are referring VB Bhandari, you can refer chapter number 5. Let us start with the topic called stress concentration. And if you have seen your Google Classroom some 2-3 days back, I have given you one data book. That particular data book we will be requiring to solve the problems related to this module, and in that data book page number 7.8, if you open page number 7.8 of that data book, that contains means that page contains all the necessary data related to stress concentration. So let us start the topic called stress concentration. So before starting this topic, I will show you one example. By an example, let us understand what is this stress concentration. And this is one of the most important parameter in design. Okay. Can you see the two papers I am having? Two sheets.
Yes, sir.
Assume that this is sheet A and this is sheet B, and let us assume that this sheet is nothing but a plate. The sheet is nothing but a plate having some length, having some width, and having some depth. And from the figure itself, it is very much clear that the cross section of the sheet is what? It is rectangular. Okay. So if I consider sheet A, this is my sheet A, and I am placing the sheet like this. That means I am keeping my plate in this position. Is it clear? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So let us apply a tensile load. Let us apply a tensile load along the axial direction of this sheet or of this plate. That means this is the axial direction. This is the axial direction. This is nothing but the cross section of the sheet. This is nothing but the cross section of the sheet. So what I am doing is I am pulling this sheet. This is the tensile load, as a result of which what will happen? This sheet or this metal plate will be subjected to tensile stress. That means I am applying load in this direction, and at this end I am applying load throughout the cross section in this direction. Is it clear? Any doubt so
Yes,
far?
sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
So now what I am doing is I am trying to pull this sheet. My objective is to tear this sheet only due to tension. I cannot apply shear. If I apply shear like this, it is very easy to tear the sheet. Fine, I cannot apply shear. My problem is I am having a sheet whose cross section is rectangular, or a metal plate whose cross section is rectangular, and on this rectangular plate I am applying a load in axial direction throughout the cross section, as a result of which this particular sheet will be subjected to tensile stresses. This sheet will exert tensile stresses. Fine. So let us pull the sheet. See, I am pulling this sheet. Can this sheet be broken? If I pull this sheet, can this sheet be broken from some point? Yes or no?
Sir, I think no.
Okay, Pritam says no. Anybody else? See, this is the experiment. I am pulling the sheet from both the end and with the same amount of load. If on this hand I am applying a load of 10 kilonewton in this direction, then in this hand also I have to apply a load of 10 kilonewton in this direction. Fine. Load is not changing. Load is static. It is not fluctuating in nature. So I am pulling the sheet like this. Can I tear the sheet? Or can the
No, sir.
sheet be broken?
No, sir.
Vikas is also saying no. Anybody who is saying yes? Pritam Pine and Vikas Chaurasia is saying no. Anybody with the answer yes? Okay. The answer is no. I cannot break the sheet. Fine. This is experiment number 1. Second experiment. What I am doing is, just observe. Second experiment, what I am doing is, can you see the change?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the change? Okay, let me do it somewhat more. Fine. Now, can you see the change in the diagram of the
Yes,
plate?
sir.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you tell me what is the change in this diagram of the plate?
Sir, it is, it is teared out.
That means you can say that I have made a small hole in the plate.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? I can assume that this is a hole. Don't say tear, because if you are having a plate and if you punch that plate, a hole will come out from that plate. Fine. So don't say tear. Let us assume that I have made a small hole. I have made a small hole in the in the plate. Now can you tell me whether the for this particular condition, can the cross section is the cross section uniform throughout?
No, sir.
It is not uniform throughout, because if you see, starting from this end to this end, cross section is uniform, but in between again there is a hole or there is a crack in the plate. Again at the last end, cross section from this end to this end, cross section is uniform. Now if I try to apply the same tensile load on this plate, can this plate or can this sheet can be teared off?
Yes, sir.
It can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sheet is easily teared off. Now can you tell me, in the first case, it was not possible for me to break that plate or that sheet into two separate components, but after making a certain hole, after making a small hole, that hole can be ellipse, can be elliptical in nature, can be circular in nature, can be a notch, some imperfections if I make in that hole. Again, if I apply the same load in axial direction, now see your sheet, the entire sheet has been divided into two separate components. What is the reason behind it?
Sir, in the second experiment, the stress concentration is there around the hole.
What is stress concentration? That is what I am asking. That is what the topic is all about. What is stress concentration? In order to make you understand what is stress concentration, I made this experiment. So can you tell me now what is stress concentration? It is, the answer is there in the experiment itself. हाँ बोलो.
Sir, at a
Sir,
certain
you are resisting
point,
to this law.
all the stresses are
Okay,
acting.
wait. Riju first you answer, then Pritam will answer.
Sir, internal resistance is low at second case. So
Pritam, your answer?
Sir, all the stress is acting on a particular point. That is why we are saying that stress
So
concentration.
if you see, can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My first condition was my. Okay, wait. Slideshow from the current slide. Fine. This was my first condition. I was having a plate, and the plate was subjected to tensile load along its axial cross section, as a result of which tensile stress was developed in the plate, sigma T. This was the condition number 1. I was not able to break this plate into two equal components. Second condition, what I did, I made a small imperfection in the plate. Now, if you try to pull the entire plate very easily, within very less period of time, you can break this plate into two different components. So in the earlier case, can you tell me, when in the earlier case the stress required was more, or in the second case stress required was more to break this plate into two components?
Sir, in the first case, stress required is more.
In the first case, stress required is more. Why? Because the cross section is uniform throughout. There is no discontinuity in the cross section. Discontinuity means you have made a small hole somewhere in the plate. You have made say a keyway somewhere in the plate. You have made a small notch somewhere in the plate. All these are imperfections. All these are dislocations. In the second case, after making a small hole in that paper, easily I can tear it off. So if you see in the second case, can you tell me at which point the stress will be maximum?
The circular point means
Yes, because we know that on any body, if I apply a tensile load along axial direction, then I calculate it by the equation sigma is equal to P by A. If area is less, sigma is more. If area is more, sigma is less. In this particular cross section, area is lesser than the first case or area is more than the first case?
Area is lesser.
Area is lesser. If the area is lesser, stress is more. And always in design, any designer will design for maximum stress point, but the stress is more. But at which point in the material stress is more? Stress, see, area is less in this diagram, fine, that means stress will be more, but the stress will be maximum, but stress will not be maximum in the entire cross section of the plate. Stress will be maximum at some particular cross section. Can you tell me which is that some particular cross section at which the stress will be maximum for this particular condition? Sorry?
At the center of the circle.
Yes, at the circular hole, at that circular hole point, stress is maximum. That means you can say that the localization of stress is more in the nearby area of circular region than that in the other area of the plate. Can I say like that? Can I say like that? Hello?
Sir, repeat.
Sir, why the
हाँ बोलो, कुछ बोल रहे हो? Hello, somebody was saying something. Hello.
sir, repeat.
Okay, again I am repeating. Fine. Earlier case, I was having a plate. If I try to pull this plate in plate, certain discontinuity in plate means you have to disturb the cross section of the plate. How you can disturb? You can disturb it by making a small hole in the plate. Now, if you try to apply the same, yes,
सर साउंड आपका ब्रेक करके आ रहा है, मतलब
sound break करके आ रहा है. Okay, now it is clear.
यस सर.
Okay, so after making this small discontinuity in the plate, now if I try to break this plate into two separate components, easily it can break. Why? Because I have reduced the cross-sectional area of the plate. And you know that if area is reduced, sigma is maximum. That means in this diagram, it is very much clear that after making a hole from this plate, the reduced area will be this much portion, because this circular portion area has been removed from the plate. So stress will be maximum at the center point of this circular hole, as well as the stress will be maximum along the periphery of this circular hole. That means there will be a localization of stresses at the point where there is no material inside the plate. Because of this localization of stress, you can break your component very easily. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And this localization of stresses developed in any particular component due to abrupt change in cross section of the material is known as stress concentration. आया समझ में?
Yes, sir.
Fine. For
Yes,
example, एक और तरीका, एक और सबसे easy example लेके solve करते हैं. That example is, assume that this end, this is your college, and this is your home. This is your college, this is your home. In between, from your college to your home, it takes near about say half an hour to reach. Fine. And this is one road, one lane. This is one lane of a road. This is the second lane of a road. This is the third lane of a road. Fine. If I say I am choosing the first lane, somebody else is choosing the second lane of a road, third person he wants to go in his own vehicle with high speed, he will choose the third lane, and the fourth person will choose the fourth lane. Fine. But at the middle point, say this is your college and this is your home, say middle point is say Narkel Bagan. I am assuming it to be a Narkel Bagan. Fine. If a hole is there, if a hole is there in the road, fine, then the person who was going in this lane, can he follow this lane? Can he follow this lane further to move forward?
No, sir.
He can follow. If he follow, accident will happen. Chances of accident is high. That means he cannot follow. So what he has to do? He has to divert. He has to divert like this, and then he can go. Similarly, if a person is following this lane to go to his home, suddenly a ditch came in front of him. He cannot go further. So what he need to do? He has to divert his path, and then he can go. Fine. So that means here I am talking about a single person, but in a road many persons are there, thousands of persons are going. So what will happen in this curved path road? There will be more traffic. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes, sir.
There will be more traffic. If traffic is more, chances of accident will be more or it will be less.
More, sir.
Chances of accident will be more. If chances of accident is more, then chances of going to hospital is much more. That is nothing but your stress concentration is all about. So likewise, now if I draw the free body diagram of this particular component, if I draw the free body diagram of this particular component, how I can draw? Let us cut this component from the middle section. If you cut this component from the middle section, this will be the diagram of the component, yes or no? This will be the diagram of the
स्ट्रेस
component.
में
Hello?
वो एज में स्ट्रेस ज्यादा नहीं होगा?
वो मैं बता रहा हूँ, पहले मेरे क्वेश्चन का आंसर करो. That I will just tell you right now. This will be the diagram of the component, yes or no? Fine. So let us draw this diagram. Let us draw this diagram in a 3D manner. So like this. If I cut this component, wait. Eraser, fine. This will be the diagram. If you take the half section, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This will be the diagram. Fine. So in the left hand side, due to tensile force P, sigma T is generated. So this is that sigma T. This is your sigma T. Now, once you have cut this component from the middle cross section, now if you see this portion of the component is having an uneven cross section. Cross section is not uniform. Cross section is uniform till this point, and from till this point. Fine. So for till this end. So what will happen due to this load P? Due to this load P, tensile stress is acting on this component. Fine. So there will be an internal resistance offered by this plate in this direction, and that internal resistance per unit cross sectional area is nothing but stress. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So let us assume that till this portion the value is sigma T, and from here this is also sigma T, this is also sigma T, this is also sigma T, but the middle portion will not have the stress value equal to sigma T. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Middle value will not have the stress value equal to sigma T because area has changed. At present, if I want to calculate the value of sigma, what I do? Sigma is load by cross-sectional area. Area is, say, width of the plate is W, width is W, and thickness of the plate is T. Then for thickness of the plate is T. Fine. So if you have not made any hole inside this plate, then this is the formula which you will use to get the value of sigma. Fine. And this formula is applicable from this end to this end, and from this portion of the plate to this portion, but it is not applicable in the middle portion. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In the middle portion, which formula of stress is applicable? That formula will be sigma is equal to P divided by, this is your W. From this W width of the plate, you have pierced one hole whose diameter is D. So the resulting side becomes W minus D into thickness. This equation I will use to calculate the value of stress sigma at the central portion of the plate where I have pierced a hole. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And this particular value of sigma will be greater than this particular value of sigma. Then only breakage will happen, or else you cannot break the component into two separate pieces. Fine. And by experiments, it has been seen that the point in the component where there is a discontinuity or there is abrupt change in the cross section, or if any part of the component is missing from that particular section, around the periphery of that particular discontinuity, stresses are maximum. That means stress will be, if I talk about this point, middle point, this will be the stress, maximum stress. And at all other point inside the cross section of the, inside that circular cross section, stress will be little bit less. So ultimately this will be the pattern of the stress. This will be the pattern of the stress. See, this is the pattern of the stress. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Fine. Okay. So this localization of stresses at the point or at the abrupt cross section, that particular value is known as your stress concentration. See, it is written over here. That is the where is the definition? Yes, the localization of high stresses due to irregularities present in the component and abrupt change of cross section. So in my problem, the irregularity is present in the central point of this plate. Cross section is changing abruptly at the center point of the plate. So the central point of the plate, that means the point from where we have punched the hole, that particular region will be subjected to high amount of stress. Nearby region of that circular hole will also be subjected to high amount of stresses. So there is a localization of high stresses nearby that circular region. That localization of high stresses nearby any abrupt change in the cross section of any particular component is your stress concentration. So is it clear? Is the stress concentration clear? Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if you see these equations, which equations? If on a body a tensile load is acting, then it is given by sigma. I can find out the value of tensile stress by sigma T equal to P by A. If a beam is bending, then the governing equation which I use is bending stress m into y by I, and if in a shaft torsion is happening, then the torsional stress tau, for that I use the formula torque, that is mt into r by j. These equations are valid for ideal conditions. I repeat, these equations which you have used in strength of material, these are valid for ideal conditions. You can use these equations only when there is no irregularity present in the component. If there is irregularity present in the component, just now I have shown you, you cannot use these equations to find out the value of the desired stresses, because these equations are having some assumptions. That assumption is the body will obey Hooke's law. Body will fail after the elastic limit point. But if you see this condition, this is a real condition, this is a practical condition. Here the body will not obey Hooke's law. Body will not fail at yield elastic point. It may fail early, it may fail late, we don't know. But yes, I know that it will fail from that particular point where there is irregularity present in the material. So if you want to find out the value of stress generated in this particular problem due to stress concentration, you cannot use these equations, because these equations are applicable for ideal conditions when there is no change in the cross section of the component, or when the cross section of the component is uniform throughout. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And these equations and these equations are known as nominal stress. This value of sigma, value of tau, value of sigma t, these are all nothing but stress, but we call in design it as by a term called nominal stress. Nominal stress. Nominal stress are those stresses which is applicable for an ideal component. It is applicable for those components whose cross section is uniform throughout the problem. Fine. And if you want to analyze, or if you want to see the stress concentration in any component, effect of stress concentration in any component, you cannot use these nominal stress equations. For that, you have to use the real equations. How we get that real equations? we get that real equation by a term. Since we have introduced what is stress concentration, since we have introduced what is stress concentration, so there is a particular term. Fine. In order to find out the value of that localized stresses, there is a particular term. That term is called stress concentration factor, denoted by symbol K suffix T. Stress concentration factor, denoted by symbol K suffix T, which you have to find it out from the design data book, because it is a real condition, it is a practical condition. So in that data book, practical phenomena are there, that for which phenomena what is the value of Kd. If this is happening, if in a shaft there is change in the cross section, or there is a hole inside the shaft, then how to get the value of Kt? If you are designing a beam, if in that beam already a crack is present from the manufacturer's end, that means a stress concentration is there. You cannot use simple bending equation to get the value of bending stress. You have to take in account what? The stress concentration factor, and this you will get from design data book for different values. And this stress concentration factor Kt is defined as the ratio of highest value of actual stress near the discontinuity divided by nominal stress obtained by the elementary equation for minimum cross section. This nominal stress value is which value? The ideal stress value. Ideal stress value for which the cross section is uniform, and this highest value of actual stress near discontinuity is which value? That is the sigma max value, which we will get for this problem at the center of the hole. So I can write this equation Kt as sigma max. Sigma max is the actual stress by considering the stress concentration into account, divided by sigma naught. Sigma naught is the nominal stress, which is applicable for ideal case, which is applicable for that particular cross section in which there is no change in the cross section, neither there is a hole, nor there is a keyway, nor there is scratching or machining scratches. Fine. And this sigma naught can be anything. If a body is subjected to tensile stress, then sigma naught will be P by A. If that body is bending, then sigma naught will be mb into y by I. If that body is undergoing a torsion, then the value of that sigma naught will be tau naught, that will be mt into r by j. And for different conditions, different values of kts are there. We have to find out that value of kt. We will multiply the value of kt with the nominal stress, then we will get the maximum stress for the actual condition of the problem if you encounter the stress condition factor. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? कोई डाउट है किसी को?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Fine. So I can write Kt equal to sigma max by sigma nominal, or it can be in terms of shear stress. Then the equation of Kt becomes tau max by tau nominal. Tau nominal, sigma nominal. You have, that is these are the stress values when there is no change in the cross section. And what is tau max? Tau max you will get once you find out the value of Kt from design data book for different real condition problems, multiply it with the value of tau naught or sigma naught, you will get the value of sigma max. So now can you tell me what is the unit of stress concentration factor? What is the unit of stress concentration factor?
सर यूनिटलेस होगा.
It is a unitless quantity. Why? Because numerator side stress is there. Denominator side, stress is there. Stress is having a unit of Newton per millimeter square. So it is a unitless quantity, but it is denoted by a numeric value. Kt is 1, Kt is 2, Kt is 3, likewise. Fine. So, and I was telling you that this by experiments, it has been observed that the region near the discontinuity is subjected to maximum stress, and in this central portion region, fine, the stress will be maximum. What was that experiment? Means scientist has performed which experiment to justify that yes, near the discontinuity only stress will be maximum. For that, what scientists did was they have yes, for the same example, they have taken the same example. Fine, they have taken a plate, then they have made a circular hole inside the plate, and then the plate is subjected to tensile stress sigma t along the two directions. Fine. Then what they did is they observed they use the technique called photoelasticity technique, and in this technique what they did, they made a model of this component of epoxy resin. They made the model of the component, and then the model was placed in circular polariscope. They kept this model in a circular polariscope, and from then after that what they did, they applied the load at the edges, due to which stress will be generated in the plate. Then they came to know that in that circular polariscope, when they observed, they came to know that the portion where there is a sudden rise in the magnitude of stress, that means they got the rise in magnitude of stresses near the circular portion, near that portion where there is a discontinuity. Then from these experiments they came to know that yes, if there is any discontinuity in the material, then you cannot find out the value of stress of that particular component by your normal nominal stress equations, which you use from the strength of material concept. You have to use the real conditions. For that real conditions, they developed a stress concentration factor called Kt, and they defined Kt as Kt equal to sigma max by sigma nominal. Sigma nominal is the equations which you use from the strength of materials. Fine, normal equations are there which you use, and if you multiply that sigma naught or tau naught value with Kt value, Kt will be different for different types of problems. You will get the value of sigma max. So this was the experiment which they performed, and then they came to know that the discontinuity regions will be subjected to maximum stress. So this is the overall concept of stress concentration. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Fine. Okay. One last topic we will discuss for today, and that is the cause of stress concentration. That means why this stress concentration, means what are the ways by which this stress concentration can happen. If what are the ways by which this stress concentration can happen? You can see that stress concentration can take place due to variation in the properties of the material. It can take place due to the load application. Fine. For example, if you take a gear teeth, fine, gear teeth, in gear teeth, both the two teeth meshes each other. At that point, load is acting, because what you do, you put a gear in a particular machine. So when the machine is in working condition, machine will supply some load to that particular gear mechanism. So when the two gear teeth meshes, that load is acting on that particular condition. So as a result of which that will be the critical portion. So from that portion gear may get fail. Then there can be an abrupt change in the cross section of the plate. That means just now I have shown you abrupt change in the cross section means, like, wait a minute. Yes, that means say this is the abrupt change in the cross section of the plate. See, here you have made a fillet, here you have made a fillet, and then you are applying a tensile load in this plate. These are called abrupt change in the cross section. Discontinuity in the metal component. Discontinuity can be due to the presence of hole in the metal inside the component, due to a presence of grooves in the component, due to a presence of notch in the component. And lastly, the machining scratches. While machining the component, if some scratch occurs in the component, fine, that scratch is itself will create stress concentration, because that scratch is nothing but a crack. Then if you apply a load, tensile load or any kind of load on that particular component, that component will try to break from that scratched point. So these are the different ways by which stress concentration can take place. That is variation in properties of materials, different types of load applications, sudden change in the cross section of the specimen, discontinuities in the component, and your machining scratches. Detail, since it is a theoretical part, detailing you can get it in the V.V. Bhandari book, or in your Khurmi Gupta book also you can get it. So you can read the detailed part from that book. That is not an issue. Is it clear today's topic? Any doubt in today's topic?
No, sir.
Hello.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Then हाँ बोलो कोई doubt है?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
So with this, I end my today's lecture over here only. But remember, in the next class, that means we will be having class on Monday. Please take a printout of that design data book, or else we cannot proceed further, because in each and every problem we will be requiring that design data book to find out the value of that KT. So please take a printout of that design data book, then it will be easy for you to understand. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if anybody is left to give the attendance, you can give your attendance, or else you can leave the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hmm.